The galaxy was never silent, but today it seemed louder than ever. Stars pulsed with distant energy, and the silence between them carried the weight of tension. Captain Daniel Harper sat in the command chair of the human exploratory ship Horizon, staring at the holographic display in front of him. He had been to the edges of the galaxy, seen wonders and dangers beyond imagination, but nothing had prepared him for what he was about to face. Beside him, Lieutenant Megan Hayes adjusted the ship's sensors. Her brow was furrowed, her hands moving quickly over the controls. "Captain, the energy readings are off the charts," she said. "I've never seen anything like this in any sector we've explored." Daniel nodded slowly. "Keep tracking it. I want a full analysis before we get closer. This could be the reason why the Galactic Council has been sending warnings. Something is stirring, Megan, something big." Engineer Lucas Bennett looked up from the engine console. "The drive core is stable, Captain. But if we push closer, we're going to be entering uncharted territory. There's no telling what the radiation might do." Daniel leaned back in his chair, rubbing his chin. "I don't expect it to be easy. But we didn't come this far to stay away from the unknown. Everyone stay sharp. Communications, keep listening for any signals. We need to know if anyone else is here." Olivia Scott, the communications officer, turned in her seat, her eyes scanning the incoming data streams. "I'm picking up faint transmissions. Hard to make out, but there's definitely something trying to communicate. It doesn't match any language in our database." Daniel's eyes narrowed. "Aliens?" Olivia shrugged. "Possibly. Or some new faction we haven't encountered yet. Whatever it is, it's powerful. The signals are encrypted in a way that makes it hard to trace." Daniel took a deep breath. "Prepare the crew for first contact. And keep the weapon systems ready. We don't know if they're friendly or hostile." As the Horizon moved closer to the source of the energy readings, the crew felt the tension rise. Every blink of the sensors brought new information, new questions, and a growing sense of unease. The stars outside the viewport stretched and shimmered, and the dark space seemed almost alive with hidden threats. Then, without warning, a massive silhouette appeared on the sensors. The ship was enormous, far larger than anything humans had encountered. Its surface was covered with strange symbols and glowing lines that pulsed like the heartbeat of some living creature. Daniel stood, his hand resting on the edge of the command console. "What in the galaxy?" Megan's fingers flew over the controls. "It's huge. Estimates say it's over 5 kilometers long. The energy it emits is off the scale. It looks organic, almost like it's alive." Lucas leaned forward, his eyes wide. "I've never seen a ship like that. The structure is unpredictable. It doesn't follow any known design principles. If it fires, we could be obliterated in seconds." Olivia's voice was tense. "It's sending out a signal now, Captain. I can't translate it, but it's definitely directed at us." Daniel took a deep breath, his mind racing. "Keep recording everything. We might not get a second chance." "Megan, prepare the shields. Lucas, keep the engines ready for a quick jump. Olivia, stay on that signal. We need to know if they're hostile." The alien ship moved with a grace that seemed impossible for its size. It rotated slightly, and the crew could feel the faint pull of its energy field. The Horizon trembled as the massive vessel came closer, but Daniel's crew held their positions. Suddenly, the alien ship emitted a pulse of light that washed over the Horizon. It wasn't destructive, but it caused the sensors to spike and created a temporary blackout in the ship's systems. Sparks flew, alarms blared, and the crew fought to regain control. Daniel shouted over the commotion, "Status report." Megan's voice was steady despite the chaos. "Shields are holding. Systems are coming back online. That pulse, it was scanning us. They're trying to understand what we are." Lucas added, "Our engines are stable. We can maneuver, but we need to be careful. Any sudden move could provoke them." Olivia's eyes were glued to the display. "They're communicating again. This time it's different. Almost like a series of patterns, pulses of light combined with vibrations in the hull. It's fascinating," Daniel nodded. "Keep recording. I want every detail. We might be witnessing first contact with a new species. We can't let fear drive us to make a mistake." The crew worked in silent coordination, each member performing their duties with precision. Hours seemed to pass in minutes as they observed the alien vessel. It moved in patterns that were both beautiful and terrifying, a silent ballet in the void of space. Finally, the alien ship slowed its approach and hovered at a distance. A projection of light appeared outside the horizon, forming shapes that seemed almost like a living creature. It pulsed with colors that changed rapidly, and the crew could feel a strange vibration in their minds as if the ship was reaching out to them without words. Daniel stepped forward. "This is Captain Daniel Harper of the Human Exploratory Fleet. We come in peace and seek to understand." There was no immediate response, only the continued pulse of the projection. Then slowly patterns began to emerge that seemed to acknowledge his presence. It was a form of recognition, the first hint that the humans were not being ignored. Megan whispered, "Captain, I think they understand us." Lucas looked uneasy. "Or they're deciding how to react. Either way, we need to be ready." Olivia continued to monitor the patterns. "It's like they're learning our language in real time. Every pulse is adjusting based on our responses. They're intelligent and they're analyzing us." Daniel nodded. "Keep calm. Stay professional. Remember, we are humanity's first impression in this part of the galaxy. We need to show that we are capable, intelligent, and cautious." Hours passed with the alien ship observing the horizon. The crew exchanged few words, each absorbed in their task, each aware that a single mistake could mean disaster. The tension was almost unbearable, but Daniel's leadership kept the crew focused. Then, finally, the alien vessel moved away slightly, creating space between the two ships. It was a gesture, not of retreat but of acknowledgement. The humans had survived the first encounter unscathed, and perhaps more importantly, they had made the first impression. Humanity was not to be underestimated. Daniel exhaled slowly, a sense of relief washing over him. "Well done, everyone. We've made it through the first contact. But this is only the beginning. Whatever's out here, it's just the start of a much larger story." Megan smiled faintly. "And we're the ones who get to write it." Lucas leaned back in his chair. "I just hope the rest of the galaxy is ready for us." Olivia looked at the fading signals from the alien ship. "It will remember us, and so will everyone else who hears about this. Humanity has just stepped onto a much bigger stage." As the horizon moved further into the unknown sector, the crew prepared for the challenges ahead. They had faced something beyond imagination and survived, and the galaxy would soon take notice. Humanity's journey into the wider conflict was only beginning, and the stars themselves seemed to pulse in anticipation of what was to come. For the first time, Daniel felt a mixture of fear and exhilaration. They were human, they were alive, and they were stepping into a conflict that would test everything they knew. And somehow he knew humanity would not just survive. They would shape the outcome in ways no one could predict. The horizon sailed deeper into the unexplored region, its crew alert and ready for anything. The previous encounters had shown them that the galaxy was far stranger and more dangerous than anyone had imagined. Captain Daniel Harper stood at the command chair, staring at the glowing stars outside the viewport. Each star was a point of possibility, each shadow a potential threat. Lieutenant Megan Hayes studied the energy readings on her console. "Captain, the anomalies are increasing. We are moving into a highly unstable sector. The energy levels are unpredictable and could affect our systems." Daniel nodded. "We'll take it slow. Keep the sensors active and let me know immediately if anything changes. Lucas, monitor the engines and be ready for sudden maneuvers." Engineer Lucas Bennett adjusted the controls, keeping a careful eye on the engines. "All systems are stable, Captain. But the fluctuations here are unusual. We need to be prepared for sudden energy surges." Olivia Scott leaned forward, studying the signals on her console. "Captain, I'm picking up multiple transmissions again. They're fragmented, but definitely artificial. There could be more ships nearby or some automated systems left behind." Daniel's eyes narrowed. "Keep decoding them. We need to know if they are threats or if we can communicate. Everyone, stay alert. We've faced danger before, but this is a new level." As the horizon advanced, strange shapes appeared in the distance. Floating debris, glowing rocks, and energy formations drifted in space, making navigation difficult. The crew adjusted their path carefully, avoiding hazards while studying the anomalies. Suddenly, a group of alien vessels appeared from behind an asteroid field. They were smaller than the first alien ship they had seen, but heavily armed. Their movements were precise and coordinated, indicating intelligence and strategy. Daniel stood, gripping the console. "We have company." Megan, raise shields. Lucas, engines ready. Olivia, monitor their signals closely. "We need to understand their intentions." Megan worked quickly. "Shields are up, Captain. All systems stable." Lucas nodded. "Engines ready for rapid maneuvers. We can change course or escape if needed." Olivia's eyes were fixed on the signals. They are sending pulses again. I can see patterns forming. They are observing and learning from us. Daniel took a deep breath. Keep calm. We can handle this. Follow orders and maintain focus. We are humans, and we are prepared for this challenge. The alien ships moved closer, surrounding the horizon but maintaining a safe distance. Their weapons were aimed, but they did not fire. The crew felt the tension, knowing that any wrong move could provoke an attack. Then, a pulse of energy shot from one of the alien vessels. It lit up the surrounding space but did not harm the horizon. Sparks flew along the consoles and warning lights flashed. Megan acted immediately, stabilizing the shields and preventing damage. Daniel shouted, "Status report!" Megan replied, "Shields are holding, Captain." Sensor systems were affected, but they are coming back online. Lucas added, "Engines are stable. We can maneuver if needed." Olivia's voice was tense. "The pulses are changing based on our reactions. They are learning from us and adjusting in real time." Daniel nodded. "Record everything. This is more than just a first encounter. It's a test of our adaptability and intelligence. We must show them that humans are capable, clever, and cautious." Hours passed as the two sides observed each other. The Horizon's crew used their knowledge, instincts, and teamwork to respond carefully. They avoided provoking the aliens while studying their behavior, learning how to predict their movements and signals. Finally, the alien vessels made a gesture of acknowledgement. They moved away slightly, indicating that the initial test was over. The patterns of light and energy softened, suggesting that the humans had passed the first trial. Daniel exhaled slowly, relief mixing with pride. "Good work, everyone. We've survived and learned a great deal, but this is just the beginning. We must remain vigilant." Megan smiled faintly. "And we're ready for whatever comes next." Lucas leaned back, exhaustion evident. "I hope the galaxy is ready for humanity." Olivia watched the fading signals from the alien ships. They will remember us, and soon everyone else will too. We are stepping into a much larger stage, and the galaxy will take notice. As the Horizon continued its journey, the crew prepared for new challenges. They had faced the unknown, survived, and learned from it. Humanity's presence in this sector was only beginning to be felt, and the galaxy would soon realize that humans were not ordinary. They were adaptable, courageous, and unpredictable. Daniel felt a mixture of fear and excitement. They were human, they were alive, and they were entering a conflict that would test everything they knew. And somehow he knew humanity would not only survive, they would shape the outcome in ways that no one could predict. The Horizon moved deeper into the uncharted sector, leaving behind the alien vessel that had so recently tested them. The stars outside stretched in long lines as the ship increased speed, scanning every inch of the space ahead. Captain Daniel Harper stood at the command chair, eyes on the display as the hum of the ship filled the room. The crew worked quietly, their focus sharpened by the events of the previous encounter. Lieutenant Megan Hayes monitored the energy readings, her hands moving quickly over the console. "Captain, the energy signatures are growing stronger as we approach. Whatever is here, it's concentrated and unstable." Daniel nodded. "We can't ignore it. Keep the sensors active and alert me to any changes. This is what we came for." Engineer Lucas Bennett glanced at the engine readouts. "All systems are stable, Captain. But these energy fields are unusual. They're interfering with our normal operations. We might need to make quick adjustments if it gets worse." Olivia Scott, the communications officer, leaned forward, watching the signals coming in. "I'm picking up transmissions from multiple sources now. They're weak but definitely artificial. There might be more ships in the area." Daniel's eyes narrowed. "Prepare the crew for possible contact. We don't know if they're allies or enemies. Everyone stay alert and keep your wits about you." As the Horizon advanced, strange formations appeared on the sensors. Asteroids with glowing veins of energy drifted slowly, and unusual debris fields suggested previous battles had taken place here. The human crew moved cautiously, studying the anomalies and adjusting their course to avoid unnecessary risks. Suddenly, a bright flash lit the space ahead. A ship, smaller than the one they had encountered before but heavily armed, emerged from behind a cluster of asteroids. Its hull shimmered with a metallic sheen, and weapons arrays glinted in the starlight. The alien vessel moved deliberately, as if it had been waiting for them. Daniel stood, placing a hand on the console. "We have company. Megan, raise the shields. Lucas, prepare the engines. Olivia, keep listening to the transmissions. We need to know if they're hostile." Megan's fingers flew over the controls. Shields are up, Captain. Energy levels are optimal. Lucas nodded. Engines are ready. We can maneuver quickly if needed. Olivia's eyes were glued to the display. The ship is sending signals. It's different from the last one, but it seems to be analyzing us again. Daniel took a deep breath. Stay calm. We've handled first contact before. We can do it again. Keep your focus and follow orders. The smaller alien ship moved closer, maintaining a safe distance but clearly observing the horizon. Its weapons were aimed, but it had not fired. The crew could feel the tension building, a silent warning hanging in the void. Then, without warning, the alien vessel emitted a pulse of energy. It was not destructive, but caused the horizon's sensors to flicker. Sparks danced along the consoles and warning lights flashed. Megan's hands flew over the controls, stabilizing the shields just in time. Daniel shouted, "Status report." Megan replied quickly. "Shields are holding, but the pulse affected the sensor array. Systems are stabilizing." Lucas added, "Engines are stable, Captain. We can still maneuver if necessary." Olivia's voice was tense. "The ship is continuing to send signals. I think it's trying to communicate. The pulses are patterned, almost like a language, but I can't decode it fully yet." Daniel nodded. "Keep recording everything. We may be witnessing another form of first contact. We need to understand them before we respond." Hours passed as the two ships circled each other, observing and analyzing. The Horizon's crew worked tirelessly, trying to decipher the alien signals while maintaining full control of their ship. The tension was thick, but the humans' determination never wavered. Finally, the alien ship adjusted its position, moving slightly closer but not threateningly. The patterns of light and vibration it sent out seemed to form a coherent message, though it was still impossible to fully understand. Daniel leaned forward, trying to find a pattern. "Captain," Megan said quietly, "I think they're testing us. They're seeing how we react to their movements and signals." Lucas frowned. "If that's true, they're intelligent and cautious. We need to be careful not to provoke them." Olivia's eyes lit up as she studied the signals. "I'm starting to see repetitions in the patterns. There's definitely a structure. They're learning from us, and maybe we can learn from them." Daniel nodded slowly. "Keep at it. We need every advantage we can get. If they're intelligent, then understanding their behavior is key." The alien vessel continued its silent observation, testing and probing, while the Horizon responded cautiously. The humans moved with precision, using their instincts and knowledge to navigate the complex situation. Each maneuver was calculated, each response measured. Then, unexpectedly, the alien ship emitted a strong pulse that illuminated the area in brilliant colors. The crew could feel it in their bones, a vibration that resonated through the hull. It was an impressive display, not of aggression, but of power and intelligence. Daniel watched closely. "They're showing us what they can do. This is a warning, not an attack. We need to respect that," Megan nodded. "It's beautiful in a terrifying way." Lucas added, "We need to remember that they're analyzing us too. Every action we take is being recorded and studied." Olivia's hands flew over the controls. "I'm getting some responses now. It's subtle, but the patterns are adjusting based on our actions. They're communicating in real time, learning as we move." Daniel leaned back, taking a deep breath. "This is the first real challenge humanity has faced in this sector, and we're handling it. We're learning about them, and they're learning about us." Hours turned into a day as the two ships maintained a tense dance. The Horizon's crew began to recognize patterns in the alien behavior, finding ways to respond that maintained safety while testing the aliens' intentions. They moved carefully, respecting the power they faced, but never showing fear. Finally, the alien ship made a gesture that the humans recognized as acknowledgement. It moved away slightly, creating a buffer of space between them. The display of light and vibration softened, indicating that the initial test was over. Daniel exhaled slowly, relief washing over him. "Well done, everyone. We've survived another encounter and learned a great deal, but this is only the beginning. There's more to come, and we need to stay vigilant." Megan smiled faintly. "And we're ready for it." Lucas leaned back in his chair, exhaustion in his voice. "I hope the rest of the galaxy is ready for humanity." Olivia watched the fading signals from the alien ship. "It will remember us, and so will everyone who hears about this. Humanity has taken its first steps in a much larger game." As the Horizon moved further into the unknown, the crew prepared for the challenges ahead. They had faced danger, survived, and learned from it. Humanity's journey into the broader conflict was only beginning, and the galaxy would soon take notice. For the first time, Daniel felt a mixture of fear and exhilaration. They were human, they were alive, and they were stepping into a conflict that would test everything they knew. And somehow he knew humanity would not just survive, they would shape the outcome in ways no one could predict. The horizon continued deeper into the uncharted space, the stars outside glowing faintly against the dark void. The crew had grown accustomed to tension and the unknown, but the anticipation of what lay ahead kept their senses sharp. Captain Daniel Harper stood at the command chair, watching the sensor readings carefully. Each blip, each anomaly could mean danger or discovery. Lieutenant Megan Hayes kept her eyes on the energy readings. "Captain, the anomalies are increasing in intensity. These energy fields are different from anything we have encountered. They fluctuate rapidly and could affect our navigation and systems." Daniel nodded. "Keep monitoring them. Lucas, be ready to adjust the engines immediately if the energy surges. We cannot afford to be caught off guard." Engineer Lucas Bennett adjusted the engine controls, keeping a close eye on the stability metrics. "Engines are stable for now, Captain, but these fluctuations are unusual. We might have to make sudden maneuvers if the energy spikes again." Olivia Scott monitored the communication signals, her brow furrowed in concentration. "Captain, I'm detecting more transmissions. They're weak and fragmented, but definitely artificial. There may be automated systems or more alien ships nearby." Daniel's eyes narrowed. "Keep decoding them. We need to know if they are hostile, neutral, or potential allies. Everyone stay alert. We've faced danger before, but this is a new level." As the horizon moved forward, strange shapes appeared ahead. Glowing asteroids drifted slowly, and unusual debris fields suggested that battles had occurred here before. The crew navigated carefully, adjusting their course to avoid hazards while studying the anomalies. Suddenly, several small alien ships appeared from behind an asteroid cluster. They were smaller than the previous vessels, but heavily armed and moved with precision and coordination. Their formation suggested intelligence and a strategy designed to observe the horizon's movements. Daniel stood, placing a hand on the console. "We have company." Megan raised shields. "Lucas, engines ready." Olivia monitored the signals carefully. "We need to understand their intentions." Megan's fingers flew over the controls. "Shields are up, Captain." "All systems stable," Lucas nodded. "Engines ready for rapid maneuvers. We can change course or escape if needed." Olivia's eyes stayed on the display. "They are sending pulses again. Patterns are forming. They are observing and learning from us." Daniel took a deep breath. "Keep calm. We can handle this. Follow orders and stay focused. We are humans and we are prepared for this challenge." The alien ships moved closer, surrounding the horizon but keeping a safe distance. Weapons were aimed, but they did not fire. The crew felt the tension, knowing that any mistake could provoke an attack. A pulse of energy suddenly shot from one of the alien vessels, illuminating the area in brilliant colors. It did not harm the horizon but caused the sensors to spike. Sparks ran along the consoles and warning lights flashed. Megan acted quickly, stabilizing the shields just in time. Daniel shouted, "Status report." Megan replied, "Shields are holding, Captain." "Sensors affected but coming back online." Lucas added, "Engines are stable. Maneuvers ready if necessary." Olivia's voice was tense. "The pulses are adjusting based on our reactions. They are learning from us in real time." Daniel nodded. "Record everything. This is more than first contact. It's a test of our adaptability and intelligence. We must show them humans are capable, clever, and cautious." Hours passed as both sides observed each other. The Horizon's crew used their knowledge, instincts, and teamwork to respond carefully. They avoided provoking the aliens while studying their behavior, learning how to predict their movements and signals. Finally, the alien ships made a gesture of acknowledgement, moving slightly away. The patterns of light and energy softened, suggesting that the humans had passed the first trial. Daniel exhaled, a mix of relief and pride washing over him. "Good work, everyone. We've survived and learned a great deal, but this is just the beginning. Stay vigilant." Megan smiled faintly. "We're ready for whatever comes next." Lucas leaned back, exhaustion evident. "I hope the galaxy is ready for humanity." Olivia watched the fading signals. "They will remember us. Soon everyone else will too. Humanity is stepping onto a larger stage." As the horizon continued its journey, The crew prepared for new challenges. They had faced the unknown, survived, and learned from it. Humanity's presence in this sector was becoming known, and the galaxy would soon understand that humans were not ordinary. They were adaptable, courageous, and unpredictable. Daniel felt a mixture of fear and excitement. They were human, they were alive, and they were entering a conflict that would test everything they knew. Somehow he knew humanity would not only survive, they would shape the outcome in ways no one could predict.